like, bro.
She got a kid. Look at his back. Oh my god. Alright, yeah. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we're reacting to cancel culture is not social justice, but Gothics reacted to her last video. With,
How do you feel about cancel culture?
I feel like cancel culture came out of nowhere, and considering we're a generation that grew up watching Family Guy and South Park and Adult Swim and Robot Chicken, why are you so soft? This is like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't understand what it is. Like, maybe it's just like this appeasement with like the left. It's just like the left. Maybe like it's just like that victimhood, like that mentality, that easy attention. It's like everything's easy now. Like everything's just too easy. It's too easy for people to express their opinions on the internet. It's too easy for people to get in dumb groups and to agree with one another. It's just too easy.
Something in common. Hi, my name is Gothics, and today we're tackling a topic that I personally have been affected by, and that topic is cancel culture. According to the Urban Dictionary, cancel culture is an internet phenomenon that has emerged due to the internet's highly dogmatic hive mind mentality, where opinions and attitudes of the public are harmonized into one unanimous blob. That said blob will spontaneously accuse and reprimand anyone who rubs them the wrong way, regardless of the individual's intention. For example, let's look at my situation. Back in 2019, I was canceled for voicing my distaste for Disney's decision to cast a black actress as Ariel in the live-action Little Mermaid. When we talk about representation for people of color, I find race-bending a historically white character more of a cash grab than anything else. Of course, Black Twitter did not take kindly to my opinions on that, and in a span of 24 hours, I was labeled anti-black, that I hate black women, etc., etc., etc. Essentially, the gist of cancel culture is the public making an accusation about someone or something that they know little about, or overinflating a minor or irrelevant issue. My opinion on the movie wasn't wrong or intentionally hurtful, but to Twitter, that was enough to subject me to weeks of harassment and public humiliation. The end result put me in a severe state of depression, which prevented me from making a living for a while, which left me wondering, how could people be so willing to participate in such a barbaric practice over a difference of opinion? But after observing and speaking to others who've also been targeted by online mobs, it's clear to me that there's a common phenomenon shared between its participants, which I refer to as the hero complex. These are folks who feel that they are actually doing something righteous by holding someone accountable. The problem with this is that I find the usual reasons online mobs are instigated is over a bad opinion or an offensive statement, which, by the way, are both subjective, as everyone has different levels of sensitivity, and we can't expect everyone to unanimously be offended by one particular thing. Of course, when I point out this unfairness to those who view cancel culture in a positive light, the common response that I get are usually references of the Me Too movement, cases like Harvey Weinstein, for example, which I personally believe is still a problem, but I'll get to that in a second. Now, I know that all of you don't necessarily agree with everything that I have to say on this channel, but today I'm going to attempt to make an argument against cancel culture. So if you're someone that utilizes the practice as a form of accountability, I'm asking you to please watch this video in its entirety before returning to dragging random strangers on the internet. Like I mentioned earlier, the most common reason that cancel culture tends to be justified is to hold someone accountable. But when I ask people to elaborate on what that means, I find that there isn't a direct explanation of what online accountability looks like. Do you want them to apologize? Do you want them to change their opinions? Are you trying to get them fired from their job? Or are you only interested in letting all of Twitter know how much you personally dislike someone? The thing about online interactions is that intent is very hard to identify. Unlike face-to-face conversations, body language, tone, and context aren't very clear. But if I'm being totally honest with you, a lot of the times those factors aren't really important to the people that participate in the practice. For example, I like to refer to my haters as roaches because just like the insect, you can't get rid of them and they pop up every now and then just to annoy the shit out of you. So I recently declared on Twitter that the term roach is my preferred nickname for my haters, but I also made a point to clarify that the term is in no way intended to be a racial insult because according to Urban Dictionary, roach is something that is used to refer to a person of color. But even after I made this clear, Black Twitter still accused me of being racist despite providing context, which leads me to believe that some people just want an excuse to stay mad at something. But Gothics, don't forget about the sexual predators and the racists. Trust me, I didn't forget. The problem with cancel culture is it totally bypasses due process. Typically, when someone is accused of sexual assault or another crime, there's something that we call a fair trial, which includes evidence, deliberation, and a verdict. However, in the court of public opinion, aka Twitter or Facebook, it seems that only people care about is just the sentencing part, which sounds awfully similar to the Salem witch trials.
That is a funny comparison. The Salem witch trial.
Yeah,
it's like they wouldn't give you like no chance to like even like explain yourself. It's like if you float, you're a witch. If you don't, you're still gonna die.
I mean, everything was just based completely in superstition, and I think a lot of that was there could have been like a lot of foul play, like something wrong with a neighbor. You don't like a certain neighbor, could lie and be like, "Oh, she over there practicing witchcraft." It's like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, it was
that's
like,
an easy way. Like you said, like
that's probably like if like one of your neighbors seen you do somewhere, let's say you're probably guaranteed that you're probably
What you was saying was like how nowadays like you're pretty much guilty before you even go to trial.
They'll make up stuff too.
Go off incomplete evidence or incomplete stories.
Just like random stuff.
Where innocent people were sent to the gallows after being accused of witchcraft over baseless accusations. They have a mole on their back, so they must be a witch. They said they don't like her content, so he must be a misogynist. You get what I'm saying? But Gothics, we have compelling evidence against the accused. Oh yeah? Really? What evidence? A screenshot that can be altered? Okay. And who's examining that evidence? Some random person on Twitter with an anime avatar? Really? Well, cancel culture isn't perfect. Yeah, you can say that again. I personally find this rebuttal distasteful, but for the sake of the argument, let's assume that you've participated in an online mob 100 times, and out of those instances, only one of those cases were proven that the person actually did wrongdoing. Is that one case a good enough reason to overlook the 99 other cases of false accusations that were made about someone? Really? I doubt that. But what about if someone says something offensive or racist?
So?
Okay, and?
Yeah.
Let's go back to my
I'm like, why are people so like into people's business?
Are you trying to get the person to change their speech
freedom
or
of
to
speech.
Apologize for a statement? If you answer
Not
yes, I
freedom of
have
speech,
some
what I
bad
think is
news
right.
for you.
Yeah,
No one
I don't
has
care.
to
I don't care what
like you,
anybody
and
says.
no one has to respect
that's your
you.
business.
Yeah, it would be nice, but that's not the reality of the world that we live in. I get hurtful comments all the time from people who hate me on a personal level, and it is what it is. The act of publicly shaming someone over something that I personally find offensive has an eerie similarity to the Maoist struggle sessions, which were intended to shape public opinion. Just a quick side note, the Black Lives Matter movement has been heavily criticized for using the same tactics by shaming civilians who refuse to pledge allegiance to the movement or raise their fist in solidarity. History sure has a way of repeating itself, don't you think? Another thing with online mobs is that it could manifest into a bigger issue than the original problem, which then makes you the aggressor. Some examples include depression, suicide, loss of income, doxing. Pretty much means that someone takes your personal information like your home address or your phone number and shares it with the world. And of course, defamation of character. Speaking of which, this is something that I feel cancel culture sympathizers should be worried about. In a recent case of defamation, a teenager settled a $275 million lawsuit against CNN after being smeared by the media. You probably remember that viral video of that white teenager in a MAGA hat that was smirking in front of the Native American man. Well, the media thought that that was enough to say
that's crazy,
he
man.
was
I remember
an
our
aggressor.
teacher showed
He
us
was
to us. He's like, these white kids out here pushing their privilege. You see what they're doing to this Indian guy. I'm like, when I first seen it, I'm like, what is this?
What's going on?
Like this lone Indian guy, this lone warrior, this howling wolf. Oh my god, that's why. Like, I don't know. It was weird. Like, we're not gonna go into it.
It was like the video. It was like they were trying to like provoke him for real.
You couldn't even really tell. It was like from that little snippet that they had shown on the news, from like every news site was showing.
They would have him like you ever see his face? It looked like he was like pretentious and stuff.
Yeah, it seemed like he was the one that was in the guy's face, but if you watch the whole thing, you see that he goes up to them and
those black dudes. I forgot. It wasn't even them for real. It was them black dudes that was like yelling and stuff.
Exactly. But like I said, man, it's always biased in the news. They always try to twist it around, show it in a certain light.
With his views, with his ratings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This video is pretty long. We're gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up in 2 parts like we did last time, man. We enjoy reacting to our videos.
Let us know if you want to see more reactions like this.
Yeah.
Subscribe and share. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
Da, da, da.